Debuting in Medarot Navi and re-debuting in Medarot 8 as DLC, and stuck around with us ever since. This Grey Wolf type has proved his viability very faithfully and dutifully. It is GWF00 Ashton, with the kit of Mobile Boost, Break, Hammer, Biped Legs, and the leg ability of Weapon Master, which converts a portion of the leg's resist stat into power when attacking with certain parts. Now, as a model that's been around in Medarot S since its launch date, this model has been made available to anybody and everybody early on, and if you've been playing for any time longer than, say, a month, you probably have already collected at least one or two parts of this guy without even realizing it. Mobile Boost is a support-based skill that, once activated, will buff himself and all allies' mobility by about 20% or so as long as the effect remains active, which means the base speed will very significantly improve and you will run very noticeably faster once this effect is put in place. Right Armor Break, and the shooting variant of it naturally, is a gravity attribute skill, which means while it has a modifier tied to success and Metaforce reliance, it also is very good for heavy punish, which is good for anyone dealing, holding 2 or more heavy parts for even more bonus damage, or say 1 or none, mostly designed for high crit rate. Left Arm of Hammer is a conventional melee skill that is a full AoE, meaning it will damage all active parts of the target at equal damage and spread load it evenly among them. So that means if the enemy is healthy, it'll spread load the damage across all 4 parts. If they're damaged or injured, it may only spread load it to maybe 2 or 3 parts or even 1 part instead. Now, as a wide range and versatile type model like Ashton is, it is also worth noting that his versatility also comes with a little bit of a cost, which he actually can kind of spin to his advantage. Given the fact that he has 2 separate arms of shooting and melee, it does make it a little tricky to use him initially, because it'll make it kind of tricky on how you want to spread load the metal if you decide to use Ashton. But that is where his leg ability comes in, of Weapon Master. This basically means that, say if he is using Break, he is going to convert a portion of his shoot resist into his base power when using Break. Inversely, if he is using Hammer, he'll be converting a portion of his melee resist into his base power when using that part, which will kind of offset just a portion of the damage that you'd lose, say from metal compatibility, depending on how you choose to use him. Overall, besides this, he is a very well-rounded and versatile model that can be used very solidly both from veterans and from rookies alike, and whether you use him as a pure set or as mixed parts, he can always find a pretty solid place anywhere with his very wide-range kit. That being said, as a pure set score, I would honestly have to rate Ashton a very flat 5 out of 10, kind of as a true middle-of-the-road kind of situation in this case, given that metal compatibility will be kind of tricky with Ashton, whether you want to focus on shooting or on melee with how you want to use him, and have your bonus damage comped thanks to the Weapon Master ability. But despite this, he is honestly very solid, good stats, and a very solid all-rounder type model that you really can't ever go wrong with using if you decide to use him. As mixed parts, I would have to rate him just a little bit higher at a 6.5 out of 10. Even if Mobile Boost is very solid, it's something that you honestly don't see very often, if at all, in favor of other support type skills such as Dominion in some cases, or even Precognition or Hypercrept in other cases. Hammer is something you may not use super often either, but in case of versatile models or all-rounders like Ashton, his biped legs with the Weapon Master ability can be pretty solid depending on how you choose to use them. And of course, the right arm of Break, even if it is a heavy part to my knowledge, it is still very good for that heavy punish if you do decide to make use of it.